Good evening, our wonderful viewers. It's your Monday Night Sports, which comes your way here on Star TV this and every other Monday. Today is the 21st of July, 2025. In the studio today is full to capacity. Full to capacity in a sense that I have Omar Squire in this building here. And as usual, before we go into the program proper, let me just inform you that of the headlines of the discussions that we'll be having today. From there, I will give my two bosses, Omar and that of my son Campo, to introduce themselves. And on the headlines, we know week before last, the SJAG did a very wonderful job by going up countries to launch chapters at URR and CRR. We'll also discuss about that, and presently the issue that is completely disturbing the sporting family. That is the unfortunate incident that happens to the under 16 basketball. We will also be bringing you a discussion of a young man who is talented and training with home base and professionals whilst they are on holidays, which we believe talent is very important. We will also bring you the sad resignation of the TMT CEO and President Omar Jaju after his team lost to Greater Tomorrow, and this and many more coming. Just let me give the floor to my boss, far right, before giving it to my son. Boss, you are welcome to Monday Night Sports.
He's your son and he's my son. He's my son too. Campo. Mr. Bai, it's good to be here. It's good to be back on Star TV. Definitely a pleasure joining you, Omar and Ibrahima. It's a pleasure.
Boss?
I guess on the platform, I would just say he's my boss, the president of the sports but overall, and then I would be like, when you say to Omar, when you say Omar, you keep quiet, people will be like Omar Joe, but for him, it has to be Omar Jaju. So anyway, good evening to the viewers, and then good evening to you, Ibrahim Akapa, and you, my boss, that is my core, to you, my president, Omar Jaju, and of course, the wonderful viewers are welcome to another exciting moment of the Monday Night Sport as we hear back, and of course, to talk about what we love talking about, that is sports that bind us today here. So do stay tuned. As Mbaye rightly mentioned in the headline, it will be a very fruitful night as we will dwell more on the headline and some of the issues that we will probably discuss here in the studio. Thank you very much.
Ibrahim Kampoja.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ambekor, and good evening to all of our listeners, and welcome to another exciting Monday Night Sport. Like it made because today I'm sitting with Omar's my dad. my dad name is Omar, and if Omar too, but it's different because Omar's son name. My mother's son, he take my mother's son name and my wife's son name. So it's vice versa. So,
anyway, Omar is Omar.
Omar. Yeah, but let the listeners just keep tuning to start and listen to us, because we have a lot of things to install, like Melcom mentioned in his headline. So let us stay tuned and never talk to them, inshallah.
That was the introduction of the panel for tonight, and as I said, we go straight to the first one. Week before last, we've seen that the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia, with the leadership of Omar Jaju, launched two different chapters. The Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia launched its Central River Region and URR Upper River Region, respectively, their chapters. The launching was held at Janjambure and that of Basse. This expansion reflects SJAG's dedication to decentralizing its operations beyond the Greater Banjul area, with a strategic goal to establish a regional chapter in every region. The Lower River Region chapter is already operational, marking significant progress in this initiative. Control room, that is the little that we can read, so you can play us the video that the SJAG president held here in URR, so that we can listen to the deliberations that he was doing. Then from there we can come and analyze on that.
This is very important to us, like the Vice President said. When we came in as an executive, we promised the membership that we want to serve. This leadership is not here to just be in the executive but the main mission is to serve. And serving members, you have to know exactly their needs. And you are part of the members of the SJAG. And that is why sports journalism, it's not only practiced in the Combos. And that is why we say we are the Gambia there. It's not only the SJAG or Sports Journalists Association of Combo, but it's Gambia.
That was the president of the SJAG giving his deliberations during the launching at LRR. Let's still listing, because they really have a very hectic weekend, because they don't just go and launch it, come back, they make a proceeding to make sure their mission is achieved. Let's listen to another insight on his deliberation in URR.
On you people to know what is happening in this region. Now you talk about URR, the only journalist that comes to mind is Fure. And that has to change. We want to see more 4 days coming from URR. Even the president relies on you to know what is happening here. So it depends on what exactly are you telling the entire country, the world, what is happening in URR. Because sports journalism is a mission. It's something that we have to fulfill. And by doing so, we should be guided by the ethical lines.
Mr. President, that was the deliberations you were doing during the regional chapter launching. And we've seen at CRR, you've mentioned that sports journalism is not only within the Combos. And I think, if my memory can serve me well, if I am wrong, I stand to be corrected. I think this is the first time the SJAG are expanding, launching chapters for the association to make sure, as you said, this is expanded and more talents to be nurtured. We see that when you guys were coming, most of the things you promised, for now, they are on track. We don't know what will be next. So how was it, and the regions, how soon are we expecting to other regions for their launching?
Well, thank you once again, Mr. Mbai. I think we've almost exhausted all the regions. I think it's only left with NBR. The reason ultimately, as an executive, is to inspire a generation of sports journalism or journalists. Because if you look at the field is fast growing, and then you have sports journalists all around the country. But in the regions too, we have disciplines that are happening there, and particularly football. So it is important that colleagues that are definitely in those parts of the country are also part of the SJAG. So it is in that line that we as an executive decided to empower these young sports journalists or sports journalists across the regions to be part of the umbrella body, but also again for them to be empowered, for them to be able to hold their leaders to account. A lot of issues are happening in the regions. For example, these URR elections that have been going and ongoing, we only see, in fact, a non-sports journalist talking about it. And then these are issues that should be talked about or reported by sports journalists, and many developments that are happening across the region. So if we organize ourselves, if they are empowered, they are giving the right knowledge and skills, they should be able to tell stories. So if you can even listen to my speech, I told them even the President of the Republic relies on these young sports journalists to know what is happening in their respective regions. So their roles are very important. They have a big role to play in the development of sports in the region, because the future of sports in those regions ultimately relies in their hands. So It's a pleasure for the SJAG to spread their arms across the regions to welcome and empower along the way this very, very, very good sports journalist.
We've seen to it that, Mr. President, this is the first time that it also go in public that everyone heard of to a junior level competition, that the SJAG sent a rep to represent the SJAG. And we've seen also during your remarks, you've made mention of something very, very important. That is, whenever sports journalism is talked about at URR, the only person who is heard is Fode. And we should really go beyond hearing only Fode. You need more Fodes there.
Yeah.
You can see even the crisis that was there during these Kamasos classes with others, it's only Fode who was constantly updating. And he's the only one that is known, majority of the public know. So that, information was very powerful though.
It is, because if you look at the recent under 17 tournament that the Gambia participated, and then in our mission to empower these regional sports reporters, and that is why we deliberately went for 4 days to cover this tournament. The reason being is not only for him to update Gambians on what is happening from Morocco, but also to inspire young journalists that are in URR. And if you look at Fode now, he's an inspiration to many young sports journalists. In fact, those that are older than him look up to him in terms of sports journalism. So it is important for us definitely to have a 4 day, but like I always tell them, we need more 4 days in URR. And we've realized also there's a capacity gap, not only in URR, because before they will be able to hold those leaders to account or tell stories, they need to be skilled, they need to be trained, they need to be educated on how exactly to tell stories and how to, in fact, hold those leaders to account. So the next phase of our engagement with them is a capacity building program. We ask them what is their issues, what do they want us as an umbrella body to do together, because I will not say to do for them, but to do together. Many issues came, but the biggest issue that they want it to be addressed is the issue of capacity building. So our next project with the regional chapters is to build capacities, to tell them that you should be empowered, but along the way they also need to understand different sports, because football in the regions is popular, and now you have these regional affairs that are now also being popular and then very powerful now in our football. But then how many of us do understand the regional constitutions? How many of our colleagues do read about them? Because you have to understand all these documents to be able to hold them to account. They've come to office, made a lot of promises, because you go to URR is huge, is big, So if football develops in URR, definitely it's good for the people of URR. And now if Omar or Campo comes as the president of URR and promise to do 1, 2, 3 things, so it is our responsibilities as regional journalists, to remind our leaders of exactly what they've promised, and then we should be able to see sports placed on a very growing or fast lane. So essentially, I think this is one of our biggest achievements. I am really proud, to be part of an executive that is realizing this, because I see these young people, I see the passion, and I see the determination to grow. So all that they require right now is the skills to do it.
Well, I think for people like me, first of all, we will just commend the executive for trying to go beyond combos. Like,
sure.
It reminds me of during my days in Saturday when my lecturer, Mr. Jallo, will tell me, Gambian media, I call them combo media, because of they only focus on
That's
combo.
very true.
And then he mentioned of during the 60s and 70s, there were this newspaper called the Balanar. No matter where you are in the country, you will heard of the newspaper, and of course, news will be delivered at a correct time.
Perfect.
What I talked about is, the person I wanted to talk, you just lamented on it, that is the capacity building, because we all know the gap between the rural reporters. We all from the rural areas, but people like us, we know they're like, we're supposed to be the one to at least represent the NBRs, but we stay some around here. So sometimes when things like this happen, I find it difficult to even get, because sometimes when you depend on people who are not reliable, at the end of the day, you give news. At the end of the day, when it contradicts, you lose your credibility. Because you will be like, I thought at the end of the day. And then we all know in certain issues, like let's just say in a war of word, the first casualty is always the truth.
Very well.
Like when two camps are in conflict, this one will say something that favors him, and the other one say XYZ. So I will commend the executive for trying to decentralize Sport Journalists Association, starting from URL and then other region, and then like he said, NBR is on the pipeline, but I will be like, okay, I will be kind of biased. It could have been started here, NBR, they are just here at the corner. So they could have crossed and then fix
maybe,
our
maybe URR and CRR are well prepared than NBR.
Yes.
So how do you plan to, at least, because of you said you are on a survey already, and then you wanted to know the areas that are lacking when it comes to sport journalism in those areas. So how soon or how quick will these surveys come in, and then of course the initiative come to play? How soon are we expecting all those things to happen?
Well, if I get you right, we did not do any, or we are not doing any survey. What we are doing is like how we do our normal work here, engaging the GNOC, engaging the minister or the GFF on what their mandate is, So it's about reminding our regional sports leaders of their responsibilities, because they have a huge role to play in our sports. You talk about the regions, you talk about grassroots, you talk about the regions. In fact, when it comes to GFF elections, they have 4 votes, more powerful than the clubs that are competing in the league. So you can see how important regional sports, particularly football, is. But how much of development is happening in our regions? After elections, what do they do? What plans do they have for the regions? So we need to have colleagues that are empowered to be able to ask questions, to be able to ask very, very important questions, so that sports continues to grow in the regions for the interest of an athlete that is coming up, for the interest.
Let me just opine you there. The reason why I said the kind of survey, I was thinking, you cannot just help somebody without knowing the capacity they are lacking. Like it's supposed to be a sort of an engagement. Okay, this is the region of NPR, and of course there are sport journalists, but during their reporting, for instance, when election happened, the only thing they consider is XYZ won, and then that's it. It stopped there, and then they will not follow up things until at the end of the day. I could recall the last election, the Congress, and then one of a colleague who was in NBR saying, okay, they have just chased us away from the hall. They said we will not witness XYZ. So in that portion, what are things that need to be done? Maybe they don't know what exactly to do. So at the end of the day, they will just come with them. Okay, they give them this common input. Okay, XYZ won the election, then that's it, they report on that. But if like a sort of a survey, like you meet them, talk to them, what are the areas they are lacking, they train on that part, because of that's what you do. And I could recall the capacity building thing that had happened here. It was based on financial reporting. We all know that aspect disturbed a lot of sport journalists. When Congress happens, you don't know how to report on finance, and then it paid dividends. Many people understand, but those that are there, do they even understand? Where do they even start? So I mean, that's why I said, okay, was there anything like a sort of a survey to understand their level of understanding when it comes to sport journalism in the country?
Yeah, I think I get your point. That is very important. you are right, because when we discussed with them on issues that they are having at their level, because remember, some of them have been practicing sports journalism. For example, in LRR, you have Lamin Dabo, you have the other guy, I forgot the other names. Lamin have been in the field. I think Campo, you know him.
I know him.
He was with the Daily News exactly.
Exactly, sure.
You know, for over a decade. You know, and then in URR also, 4-day, even though he's young, he's been into this. In CRR, you have Fadera, who also benefited from our financial training, and then Karamo, and then Mr. Jawara. So they've been in the field. But your question is very, very important, because you cannot go there and teach them at this point in time about everything or anything. It needs to start from somewhere, because they need to also know that this is what is more important or timely. Fine, even though we always remind them of the basics in journalism, like you and I know the do's and the don'ts. So we have to look at it at a broader perspective. Now, the regions, what do we want to help them with? Maybe it's time for electoral elections at the regions. We want to train them on election reporting or sports election reporting, you know, or maybe we want to also teach them on how to cover local sports. You know, we also want to also see how best we can equip them with interview skills or techniques, you know. So all this will come to play when we decide exactly this is the day that we want to do this with them. But essentially, there's a capacity gap. I can feel it, and I spoke with some of them off the mic or off record, and what they need right now is how to do things. Some of them, even how to write a headline, they cannot do it. We have to teach them how to write a headline, the intro, the body, and the conclusion. Some of them, you know, they lack, in fact, the confidence to hold a mic and interview someone. Some of them need to read and understand constitutions. Some of them need to read and understand regulations. So all those things we need to instill in them. You know, it's a process, because when you look at them, they're so passionate about this field. You know, but being passionate and doing it is two different things. These are two different things. So our responsibility as an association is to give them that platform, you know, for them to know all these things, to master them. Interview techniques, reporting on elections, you know, coverages, you know, because during the launching, there was security personnel, Captain Tamba.
Yeah, my Tamba, yeah.
You know, apparently she is my auntie, you know, I later realized, you know, she raised very important topic, and that is when the security who are there to protect us journalists or even fans, sometimes people stone them, fans stone them. So he was asking, what role can we play as journalists to talk to or sensitize fans, emphasize the importance of securities in our games or in our sporting events. So you can see, we can have a training, you know, that, okay, it is not our role as journalists to protect them, but we can protect them by sensitizing the fans that no matter what, this is the person, or these are the people that are here to protect us, you know, to protect us. So along the way, they also need to understand that we have a role to play in talking to our fans, you know. So it's a long process, but gradually I think we will get there. I am so much hopeful with what I see in the regions in terms of commitment, in terms of trying to push from where it is now to the next level. And like I told them, the future of sports in the regions entirely lies in their hands, and they have to do it rightly for us to move, and football to move across the regions, or sports to move across the regions, and then we will help them.
Yeah, absolutely, it's important. You know, sometimes I know sport journalism in the country is really doing great, but sometimes, you know, when I witnessed one of the fans in the rural areas whereby some people will call themselves journalists. At the end of the day, wanted to be players, and same time the referees, they don't understand those rules, I think. But like you said, when it comes to the capacity, the gap is kind of wide, but we will try to trim it down. It's a collective responsibility aside from the executive, and because of we, as far as you are a sport journalist, you are part of SGAG. So bringing the gap and try to trim it, it helps all of us at the end of the day.
Mr. President, just to ask this question. The question is, where and how is the SGAG executive having funds? Why I ask this is, anytime the SGAG call it members, all the members who attended will be fed, will be given the refreshment. And the SGAG conducted or organized more than 2-3 capacity buildings. The SGAG, they don't still stop there. They went further by paying 3/4 for their members to acquire the AIPS card, those who are approved. And the monthly dues that the members are paying cannot fund all that. Possibly the like of Campos hardly pay their dues.
Campo, I think he's still owing us. The last time Del came here,
but you know, for me, it's not that I don't want to pay. I have the money to pay, but I told him that, boy, just wait. I will give you cash directly.
I will give it to you. Wait for how long?
You have to pay.
I will give you cash directly.
No, but wait for how long, Campo?
Yeah, but boys to forget.
but you know, but you know, something very important.
Yeah, they have to remain.
Campo,
They have to remain.
you are a very strong member of the SGAG.
Yeah, definitely.
You are part of the.
No.
I am reminding him of his duties.
Definitely.
You know, I'm reminding him of his duties.
Remind me. I wait. I can just tell you maybe.
Okay, tomorrow I will remind you so that you can wait.
Even.
Yes.
But then you say, okay, mark.
But somebody, you've asked a very important question.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, when we came in, I think the only good amount of money that we received is the support from the ministry, the $200,000. We were able to manage that very well, but you know, doing voluntary work also comes with a lot of sacrifice. Most of these events that we organize, we do have partnerships. For example, the recent one at Seaview, we spoke with the hotel management to say, look, we are an association that is doing this and this and that, and then we want to have our event here because Seaview, we know Seaview has a long-standing history in Gambian sports and football. We used to have our national team come there, and you know, and a lot of things happened there. And then the owner, Jane Hatib, has been quite supportive to Gambian sports. Sure. So we went to him, spoke to him personally. I did spoke to him, and then he welcomed the idea to say, Omar, go ahead and do whatever you want to do there. So in return, we provide visibility. You know, we provide visibility, and you know, it was all smooth for us. You know, and then other activities like the banner we pick from our account, and then you know, certificates we can slightly pick from our accounts. But then the monthly contribution, to be honest, they've been coming. Even yesterday, the treasurer was updating, I think day before yesterday, and I was quite impressed.
Very well.
I said, okay, then people are paying. Maybe the only guy who's not paying is Campo.
Yeah, I saw the list, but Campo's name wasn't there.
You know?
Why are you attacking
So definitely, I am so impressed.
Okay.
I am so impressed with the contributions. And then, you know, these are the things. Along the way, we also use our personal funds, to be honest with you, to make things happen. Because I did not regret, Morlamin or anybody in the executive did not regret of putting $1, $2, $3 to make things work, because this is what we subscribed for. You know, so we are also very careful of how we get funds. Sometimes I remember one of our executive meetings, someone suggested that, boy, doing binasiki and then write. We said no.
Yes, sure.
You know, we cannot. No matter what happens, there are people or there are institutions that we cannot approach for partnership or even sponsorship, because we also have an integrity to protect
it needs to be protected.
as an association. And as people, as professionals, all of us are professionals, so we don't want to engage in anything that is going to tend or jeopardize our image as leaders or professionals. So we are very much careful with that, so it's that, partnerships and self-funding, trips there and there, along the way, at the end of the day, we want to make or see things work, So about the AIPS cards, this is very important, because at the AIPS level, I'm gonna tell you this: Gambia is so much respected, and that is why you see our every event, the president always comes to us. He does not do this with any other association across Africa. The reason why he takes his time and record and talks to us directly is because of he has been seeing what we do as an association and what we do as sports journalists. So he always is ready and happy to share his knowledge. One thing they don't encourage giving, because they don't give money.
Sure.
So what we did, we said, okay, from Morocco, this is something, because we also know our members, some of them, not because of they don't want to pay, but because of most of them are constrained financially. So we also have to understand them, and along the way we also have to put out ways to attract, not to lay burden on our membership. So that is why all the time when things come, we try our best we can ease things to make everybody comfortable. The card is $7, I think, $750 or $720. So that is not much. But we decided to waive it. No matter what. Campo, did you have one? You don't have. Campo, you need to regularize your status.
$7?
No, not $7. It's $700. I'm talking about dollars.
Because
let's forget about the dollars.
We have to pay the quota. We have to pay the quota.
What's the main problem? They're supposed to inform me. I tell you.
No, but in general, you are in the page. You are in the WhatsApp page.
No, everything. But
you are in the page.
Let him pass on.
No.
Why? I have a lot of things in my head.
You are in the page.
Let's give Combo that privilege. He's a special member.
I have a lot of things in my head. So I told them, boy, inform me. I just pay direct.
No, but on the
whole year is $1,200.
No.
So that's okay with Campo. At the end of the
But I can tell you,
he will sort it out.
remind me.
No.
Money. I can just pay even.
Listen,
more. I can even pay
on a more serious note,
Yeah, even more.
I think you don't need
to inform.
Del
To inform.
Omar to inform.
I used to forget definitely.
Yeah, you should give hope
Hope is it
to these young people.
Absolutely. That's what
Because
it's
Campo is someone that I spoke with when I took over.
Yeah.
We spoke at length about how do we move this, because at some point I'm gonna move.
Before the election, yeah.
So before we move, we have to place the SGAG at the level that the next person coming is going to be easy for the individual. So that's why you're one of the longest serving members of the SGAG. So sometimes when the list is out and I don't see your name, I ask people why, but I'm sure you will fulfill.
This
Mr. President, be rest assured, I will take that personal responsibility to be reminding him. But before we go for the break, if in case Omar has nothing, what are we expecting from SGAG, and what advice do you have for those who are still practicing sports journalism and they don't come on board?
Let me just come before Omar advises. I think that was the chapter.
Okay.
You talking about the financial constraint of the association, and we all know the biggest sporting activities in the country is hosted by the SGAG. You talking about the financial constraint, and we all know annually that program, a whole of money is invested in that particular program. That is
The awards night.
Journalists Association, the award night. This executive, are they finding any ways of staging it, or will there be a hold to that particular event?
Yeah, very well. We are supposed to even do this, I think, some last month or so. Plans were underway, but something happened, and then we couldn't secure what we wanted. But to answer that question briefly, we have potential partners that are willing to do this in November. People that have showed so much interest and so much trust in the leadership. Even 3 days ago, I was communicating with an official, Papa Yusuf Anjay, I think of Unique Global. So we spoke at length about things that we intend to do together, and a host of other people. So it's a matter of us deciding on a month and a date, and then we start. It's not going to be easier. We know how it is difficult to attract funding. Maybe it's because of also my line of approach to many, because I have to be honest with you, I consider a lot of things getting finance from institutions and people, and Gambia dafa nekk dëkk bu doy waar. When you're dealing with people, you have to be careful, especially when it comes to money and asking people money. So they can easily use it against you.
Very well.
And we have to be very careful with that. So that's why the award, it's not a priority to the SJAG. It's one of our biggest events, but ñun lu ñu gën a itteel mooy the development of our members. They need to be empowered, they need to be independent, they need to be brave, to execute their functions.
Okay, then that goes by you answering by your question. But first, let me just conclude by saying, if you understand what I mean, you have to bring back the Yaya Omar stuff.
Yes, yeah. That is still there. That is still there. I mean, now listen, I think that you're talking about Senegal, no? The trip to Senegal? Yes, we are going to go, and I think Kambo was the captain in that team.
But he retired.
He retired?
Yeah, he retired.
But,
Yeah.
But the advice I briefly want to give to my colleagues, especially the young ones that are coming in, because everybody is now a sports journalist in this country. You go to football fields, you don't even have a place to sit in the media tribune, which is good, amazing. But we have to read and understand issues. As sports journalists, like you said today, it's way beyond going to cover a Walidan on Biko game. Before you even reach home, we know the score line. So what are you going to tell? What is so special about the game that someone who is at home wants to know apart from the score line? So the issue also we have now is the obsession with fame. Omar Jaju wants to come today in the field and wants to be maybe Mbaikor tomorrow or Campo tomorrow, today. So you need to manage your expectations as a young sports journalist. You need to also read and understand issues. Reading and understanding issues is about institutions that govern our sports. You talk about the Sports Council, they have an act that dictates their regulation. Do we know? Do we understand? You go to the GNOC, you have the Olympic Charter. Do we understand how they operate? If an athlete travels to the Olympic game, for example, Gina leaves the Gambia to go to Olympic game, how much should be her bonus? Because they have an operational manual. Do we know that? We need to know that. If we don't have it, let's request for it. You go to the GFF, they have a constitution. Do we master it? And that's why most of us go to these events, we get embarrassed because we don't read.
Sure.
So I encourage us to read and understand issues so that we can be able to stand firm in line of our duties.
Okay, control room, we are going for a short break and we'll be back on part 2, which will be focusing on the unfortunate incident that happened to the Gambia basketball under 16 Mr. President, you can still have patience with us because
Sure.
this topic also, your insights are really needed there.
All right.
Welcome back after that short break. That was the part one of the Modern Night Sports today. For those who are following online, you can still send in your comments. No idea is underrated, and you are the reason why we are seated here. We've seen few days ago the Gambia under 16 basketball were involved in an accident where some officials and players got injured while traveling by land to Conakry for the FIBA Africa Zone 2. And Mr. President, I see to it that since this thing occurred, the blame game is too much. Everyone is trying to be defensive at the government side, at the association side, and other members. And I believe we all know sport journalism have gone beyond, as you said, just sending score lines. Because if you watch a game before you go home, the result is known. It has gone beyond advertising one or two players or doing a PR. And I think sport journalism also, this is among our task to make sure issues that are really disturbing sports, we have to talk about it so that it can be addressed. We don't just only focus on a particular discipline. We focus on sports generally. And it's also sometimes so alarming when one is rushing to send a breaking news. Some breaking news sometimes can bring misinformation or miscommunication. What is your take on this particular? Because this accident is serious, really. We don't pray for it. But I, for one, my concern why I don't just go deep into this for now, I have to take my time. Taking my time in the sense that I have to investigate the truth. I sit here, talk about the truth. But like I cannot just jump and say something that I may not be sure of. But the only thing I am particular is that of the treatment side. My particular on the treatment side is, yes, this has occurred already. The government have taken step by providing a private jet, which we commend, to bring the youths back. The president was blaming the association that the team chose to travel by land, but I commend his leadership. He quickly wrote another letter to apologize, and the reason he stated, I agree, because situations like this is so pressing, it's so confusing. To face the media and talk sometimes can be challenging. So it's not intentional, and he's human. But my concept is, government today take the responsibility of treating them for now. But some of these players are from the provinces. Some are here to go to school and be under guidance. Some, the background that they come from are unfortunate. And it's always a problem here when some athletes are injured. The first part of this treatment will either be done by the association or by the government. But the last part is the family of the athlete that suffer.
Yeah. Like you said, Mr. Mbai, it's quite unfortunate that an incident like this happened in our sports, particularly in basketball. And first, we need to establish how did this happen.
Very well.
And then look at the situation we are right now and how do we make sure things like this don't happen. Because this could have been a national tragedy. This could have been worse than it is now. First, I listened to both the president of the association, Basketball by Ndongo, and I've also read the statement by the Minister of Youth and Sports. First, I want to begin with the statement by the president of the Basketball Association. You see, when issues like this happens, as leaders, we need to be very careful, because in as much as the ministry have questions to answer, the Basketball Association too have a lot of questions to answer, because you cannot tell me that these kids do enjoy traveling by land. All right? Now, let's assume, fine, you can travel to America by land every day, go home safe.
Sure.
But that does not make it right.
Very well.
All right? So you cannot come also as a leader and try to downplay the magnitude of this incident. So I think the president should definitely take responsibility to see exactly how do we fix this. And to the honorable minister, he should not be defensive or over defensive in this case. The latter part of his statement, he made it all clear that this is a lesson learned.
Sure.
And responsibility has been taken. I think that was supposed to be it. Because if you say these associations as government, we cannot micromanage them. This is not a club. It's a national association. And all the national associations are affiliated to the Sports Council.
Sure.
So the Sports Council is arm of government.
Yeah, very well.
All right. So as a ministry, you cannot say we cannot micromanage. Already you are managing these associations. All right. But let's face it, all this is happening because of we don't have a structured sports council. And that is backlashing to the ministry. The sports council, to be honest, it has now turned to be a conflict regulatory body. Associations will have issues, Congress issues, none them to sports council. They will come dissolve, form an interim committee,
Sure.
or form an interim body, and then come and do your AGM and do your elections.
Sure.
We have to change from that. So in as much as sports council, it's not well structured, we are going to face a lot of problems in our sports. Because now, and it's very sad, when I saw the team leaving, I saw the acting executive director filming and taking pictures.
Sure.
In a normal country, preparation was not even done.
Sure.
Like he is the boss at the NSC, I saw him filming and taking pictures. So that clearly tells you. And along the way, this team was even disturbed on the way going.
Sure.
Because speaking to these athletes, these coaches, they tell you, police will stop number fee. So a national team leaving the country, you don't even have a letter
Sure.
to indicate that this is a team that is going to compete in a qualifier on behalf of the country. So along the way, in fact, not this accident, but they've been facing issues. All right? So in a normal circumstance, in normal situation, government, through the National Sports Council, should have provided these kids with a recommendation letter or with a strong letter, all right, that they are going to present along the way. But that did not happen. All right? So in issues like this, when national team even travels, even you don't travel with them, but there should be like a monitoring system. All right? What time are you leaving in Gambia? The minister or the sports council should confirm that. They should know exactly what time is the team leaving in Gambia. All right? And what time are you expected to arrive in Guinea-Conakry? All right? So by that, we should be able to know exactly what to do. But you cannot just give them 1 million or 6 million and say, okay, that's it for you. You're going by land. Just go. All right? So I think we can do better.
Sure.
This is the Gambia that we all want to develop.
Sure.
And I must say this, Mr. Mbai. You see, in our sports, everybody have a role to play.
Very well.
The journalist, the minister, the regulatory body, everybody have the role to play. And we must see to it that everybody designed to play a role plays it with maximum commitment. We have to play, because things like this, someone did not do it right.
Sure.
So as leaders, we have to come up. I always say, if the sports council did what they are supposed to do right, maybe this will not happen.
Sure.
But again, Ndongo comes to play. All right? You cannot come and tell me the team travels to Burkina Faso and enjoy it. I always say, they can travel to England tomorrow and come, fine, no accident, but but that does not make it right. All right. So even though going up, I think, because off record, to be honest, I spoke with the minister. We met at the GNOC handing over flag. You know, you can see he also did his part by going, in fact, joining the private jet with his Guinean counterpart to go and, you know, bring the other badge, because, you know, private jet, they take only 16 people, and then there were more than 16, you know, so he had to be going back and forth. We have to commend him for that, for standing, quickly answering to the call. But the reason why this backlash is happening, because we did not do it. You know, so you cannot come and say the basketball clubs or associations are independent. They are not. You know, they are not 100% independent, because when they need funding, they go to government. When they need anything, they go to the sports council. You know, so if the sports council it's not playing its part, then there will be a problem. All right, and these associations, they have to work. All right, some of them will even sit up to competitions. They come and present their budgets to the sports council or the ministry, and then they will be pressuring them. So if they don't have funds, they go to the media. But who cares if they go to the media if we think they are not working? You know. So, but if the sports council did not regulate this, we are going to suffer. You know. So the sports council should enforce regulations that are not going to, in fact, provide rules or traveling, whatever. But also these associations should work. Basketball, they've been doing so well. Volleyball, they've been doing so well. You know, but apart from these associations that we see in this country, how many of them are dormant? You know, deregister them. Let them work, or they don't compete outside. You know, so along the way, I think this is a lesson that all of us should learn. You know, because now, if a team is even traveling to Senegal, this has a lot of consequences. And speaking to some of these kids, you know, the other lady, Yasin or something like that. But the mom said to the other kid, I cannot allow my 2 kids to travel in a bus to Guinea-Conakry. All right? So the other kid went, left the sister behind. But even according to some officials, the mom said, had I wish, none of them will even travel. Even the one that I'm allowing to go will not go by land. So now we have an issue to even convince parents to travel by bus to these championships. All right? Now, before we even travel to Senegal by bus, parents, they need to be convinced. If the bus, okay, is my kid going to be fine? You know, they will have sleepless nights. So you see, this has far-reaching consequences. You know, so that is why things like we should not downplay it. You know, we should not downplay it. And I think you know, we need to face each other and speak about the reasons why this thing happened.
Very well.
But not to play a ping pong game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before Omar will come and Campo, as we are running out of time on this issue and we have a guest waiting. I was thinking that on their planning also, this, as the minister said, is a lesson that is learned. But I believe also, this is Africa, and we have to be security conscious. The minister can use the government to make some arrangements or clearance. What I mean by that is, any association that is to be traveling either to Senegal or anywhere by land, I think they should help to involve the security on that escort there, in a sense that they can write clearance for at least few securities to cross the border with their sidearms, that are their pistols per se, to go with that national team. This is a national team. One problem of that those athletes will ring a bell to the entire country, and they should be treated as diplomats who are going outside. So that escort should be there, and I think that is a portion also which they should reconsider, because you cannot be traveling to these areas. We see sometimes how forests can be so dark and certain roads that you take, and you taking that risk without security. It's really something very dangerous. And if associations are to go, I think, Mr. President, they should equally consider securities in plain clothes going with them?
I think that is important. That is quite important, and that is why I think moving forward, what the Sports Council, I think, in my opinion, should do is ask for activity plans of these associations. Now, as an association, you cannot compete in all events outside because, to be honest, I don't think there's budget for that from the ministry or government to fund all the associations, their international events. But now, if the associations send in their activity plans outside competition, for example, or the events that they've registered to compete in, the government or the Sports Council can say, out of 5, we can only fund you 10. We can only fund 10 out of 5, 2 or 3. All right. So we make sure that these 3 are well planned. All right. You don't have to struggle for gele or sprinter or whatever. If the budget is there, give them the budget and say, okay, you've registered for 5, but as a government, we can only allocate or cover 3 of these activities. So then, if the association comes and say, okay, we want to go to Mali or Guinea, give us funds, we look at the activity plan. If it is in line with what you sent, we give it to you. If it is not there, we say, I'm sorry, we cannot do this because it is not part of our budget. So now, if the association goes online and start, talking, or that is fine. And that is why I blame the Basketball Association. Look, I don't know whether they've received the 1 million or not, but according to the ministry, they've already given $1 million to the association.
Yes.
So that 1 million
sure,
could have even covered, few things.
yes.
Could have even make things better. And the reason why I am so much disturbed by this, because we are downplaying this. This is very, very serious. Not because of only the accident, but this was a qualifier that was supposed to place these kids on a very top level.
Sure.
And them traveling on the same day with a bus, and that's the same day they were supposed to play against Guinea-Bissau. Imagine. So you cannot even travel by land to Guinea-Conakry and then just start rushing to the courts to play.
Fatigue. Yeah, sure.
So these kids at this age, imagine them going through this, then we have a problem. And then we have to face it. We don't have to compete if we don't have money. It's normal to say we don't have money and then government will stick to it. If they don't have money, they should stick to it. If the association says there is no money or whatever, let us not push or sacrifice these kids and come and tell us that they enjoy traveling by land. That is very, 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 very unaccepted.
Boss, if you have any Campo before we take a leave of the president.
Yeah, the president. I think now we're running out of time. But
because they did a good job. I've seen the SJG executive go and visit Kasim, and which is so commendable.
So commendable.
Yeah, really, really.
Like you have mentioned a very important thing. When certain things happen, you don't just rush into conclusion.
Very well. Sure.
Thank God, like the president is sitting here. That is the Sports Journalist Association president. The way people are, sport journalists should understand, like when you wrote, you don't just wear a cap of I am Mbaye. People listen, people believe, but sometimes it's unfortunate, like people wrote in emotions. When you're so emotional, you say, okay, I wanted to write this. At the end of the day, do you know the damages you caused? Do you know certain things that you're doing? Do you even find out what's the problem? You don't know. You just, you just don't jump into conclusion. These things have to start somewhere. There is an interest from the Basketball Association that they're supposed to attend a competition. When did they even engage the ministry? If so, they engage the ministry. Okay, if the time limit is not there, do you think for certain players, do they even have the document to have it? Or to go by flight? You ask all those questions. So there are many things that's supposed to be asked before we start jumping into conclusion. X, Y, Z shouldn't do this shouldn't do this. But like you said, we run out of time. I think I will not dwell more on this thing.
And my apologies also for those who are texting me privately on my WhatsApp claiming of the poor network, that they want to comment and contribute, but the network is very poor. It's unfortunate. It's not on our control. We know sometimes when the rainy season on, the network is always a problem. Our apologies for that. We wish you have a better network so that you can send your comments. We can read them here. So, Campo, if you have any for Mr. President before we bring our other guests.
Yeah, this thing is very sad. When I just saw it, I say, wow, this should not be, because you cannot, like the president said, you cannot have this type of tournament. You said that you are going to, maybe if it is Senegal, we can understand, but Guinea Connect, I have tried the route, because I was having the money. I was supposed to go with Omar to Africa Coast. Yeah, but Omar later, luckily,
you traveled by road because you were failed by your people.
No,
failed.
No. But, don't say that. But I've given you.
Who are these people?
No. He also contributed, because when he spoke, they give me the money. But I not buy the ticket, because the ticket was 49,000 places. I said no.
Go to where?
Go to Africa Coast.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried through Kaula, from Kaula to Kai, from Kai to Bambogo to Africa's border, from Africa's border to Yamoussoukro. So that road is very dangerous.
You suffer.
I suffer. Wow. I even sent a picture to Omar.
I was constantly communicating with
you look at your face.
From Gambia to
Africa. Omar said, look at your face. You are definitely tired. So these people taking Guinea road. Guinea road is the most dangerous road in West Africa.
Yeah.
Definitely, they nearly, no. It's only God that put water on it, but it could be a disaster. But let this type of thing not happen. Definitely, I feel for them. I feel for my own colleagues, but this type of thing will normalize. And parents also will try and tell their kids not to travel by bus. Even Senegal, they will think about it. So
I remember when even the volleyball team, when they are traveling, you know they are going to Algeria, but they use the bus to Dakar. So someone said, I hope you are not going to use the bus to Algeria.
But certain things, when certain things like this happen, you ask yourself.
Yes, I went to Guinea and
by flight.
It was through flight, to be honest. Because I can attest to their rules, because the hotel we were staying was Grand Hotel de Conakry, and the hotel we stayed to the stadium that we were playing, that is with September, was very far. Sometimes we will even see the hill. I could remember Del Pero saying that this place is far, but the driver could have captured our Mandinka. He said to them, this hill you are seeing, that's where we are to go. Then said no, he will not go. Then from there, Modugay, he was playing at Wales. Then we just went until we reached at the stadium. The driver told them, do you know that you pass the hill? They said no. And because sometimes the way you see it, it's only somebody who knows that place. And sometimes the rumors that are coming for now, if it happens, it's unfortunate, but you cannot establish it for now. This was just the little that we have for you. Because of time, we wish we expand the discussion, because having the SJG president in the discussion, it's really commendable, because his knowledge is like an ocean. It has no limitation. And I'm happy that also my boss Omar, likewise, Campo, these people, they enjoy what they are doing. We can be talking here for 3 hours without being satisfied. Just join us after the short break. We will welcome our other guests who will be joining us shortly. come to the third and the final phase of the Monday Night Sports. As I mentioned earlier, we really have very interesting topics to discuss, but due to time, we cannot discuss on all those matters because we really have to prioritize the ones that are really a public concern. And in here, we have a very young, talented man who is a physical trainer whom we see both home-based and professional players train with, because we know that as professional footballers, the more they go high, they will never want to come low. Come low in a sense that the more you are working with them and they see to it that what you are giving is not what they need, they have to quit. But we see to it that for this gentleman, anytime the Gambian professional players are here during their break, 80% of them will be joining him to be training. And we see to it that also the local base talents whom you know that they are potential professional players whom we have hope on always train with him. We will give him the floor to introduce himself, then we will go into details of the secret behind it. You can tell the viewers who you are, what your names are.
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Bakari Sanyang, commonly known as Baksu. I'm the physical trainer of Serekunda FC 2nd Division, and then the Gambia National Men under 17.
Wow. Oh, that's perfect. Then I'm happy that the Gambian national team also are benefiting. But so we see to it that, you know, whenever professionals are here, they are always with you in the pitch. Training, stability, energy, physical. And we also see you put on the young lads, the potential talents of the national teams. What is the secret behind your knowledge? And so far, how are you going by it? Can you shed more light on it?
Yes, because this thing, I learned it because I started from one Gambian called EJ in America. So from there, and then I start going to Senegal, and then I learned about physical fitness training, strength and condition, and then I just finished my level 3,
Wow.
whereby online course. The fitness trainer at Gambia senior team, Mr. An, helped me with that. Now I'm waiting for my level 4, probably, hopefully that can be in Wales, inshallah. So I know all this process, so I know what to give the players, what is good for them and what is not good for them. So in that case, that's why everybody is coming to me to help them. And then I was a footballer before, so I know what is good and what is not good. So I think that's it. That's why everybody is coming to me.
We see that, you know, you are not only in the pitch or stopping at the pitch with the players. You will also go to the beach with them. And I even understand a Sierra Leonean international who was also here on holidays have to join your training. Can you shed more light on why sometimes you are in the field, sometimes you are at the beach?
Okay. At the field, we use ball work, we do ball, dribbling, finishing, some agility. So when you go to the beach, so you can have more strength there. Because you know the sun is heavy, so you run on the sun and then do some exercise there, but it will be explosive one, because you cannot do like what the wrestlers used to do. As a football, you have to do mobility, fast reaction inside the sun that will help you. So the first day I trained that man, Sierra Leonean Toure, I was very happy, and then the comments he gave to me, really it was so really good. So I'm happy.
When it comes to materials, are you facing any challenges when it comes to materials, or so far, if it is not materials, what challenges are you facing as far as your job is concerned?
Lot of challenges, lot of balls. Sometimes Ibrahim Akoli helped me with balls, markers, you know, many things. So, and then these professionals, when they come to me for training, because just to help them, so I did not I do not charge them, no fee. I just tell them whatever you have, you can give me. So the local based players, and then what I do is they pay maybe 1,000, but now they are paying 2,000 because from that 2,000 I have to buy materials, I have to buy fuel to go and train them. So it's not easy. It's not easy. So from there I used to organize a match like Friday, whereby I will assess each player what you have to adjust on.
Okay, can you train Campo and revitalize Campo to give back to?
Campo is gold.
Campo is very well.
No,
I'm not saying that he knows you.
One thing I want to
Yes, he know you.
No,
he don't have that time.
Yeah, no. But so know very well.
I never revitalize Campo.
Campo is old.
Yes, the body, I can make the body.
Okay, but that's quite impressive. I think today will be the first time I'm having an encounter with you, but I know of Bosco who has been training many people, and then I have been following you. But saying okay, I'm having problems with ball, sometimes I will wonder, I will be mad at our professionals who will come because of each and everyone somebody who is just helping. And then when you go, we all know sometimes when you lack certain things, there are people you don't need to tell them this is what I need. They just have to come and provide. My question is supposed to be, sometimes we see Bosco using sometimes different field, especially this common artificial stuff that is the 6-a-side artificial stuff. Sometimes here we all know these artificial stuff, they call them the Bahamas locally. They are good when they are new, not that standard, but the moment people started playing, they have these sometimes they come up at the end of the day because of I meant to understand. I have talked to some of the professionals. They used to come there, and then last time I was talking to someone who said, Naham, the grass is getting old, and then I don't want to get injured. These are the things. So how do you make up that? Do you have plans in the future to have your own football field so that you know how to care? Because of these things, other artificial sport, the owners, they are doing a business. They are not there solely for just say, okay, let's have training stuff. And then we all know this artificial stuff, when games are heavy on them, they get destroyed. So
that's true. In future, I really want that, to have my own football pitch, whereby we can even have a gym there, so that will be more professional. Like the national team, the physical trainer of Senegalese national team, you can see him. He got everything. So whenever the players are there, he just train them. Sometimes he go up outside, they take him out, and then he train them at their the country they are playing. So why not Gambia also? Because for me, really, I'm really confident that I can train any player in this world. Even Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, I can train him. So, what about the Gambia? You can do it.
Absolutely.
Before Omar will continue or Campo will come, there is a very important message here from Pa'an. Pa'an said, bro, Bakso is someone special. I coach him as a football player, and also his passion on fitness. A good fitness coach possesses a strong understanding of exercise science, human anatomy, and nutrition. This allows them to design safe and effective workout plans tailored to individual needs. I am so proud of him and working with him in process of development. I am even planning to form an association of the Gambia strength and conditioning coaches to help them in the latest development in sports and science. And Bakso, that is an attestation that Pa'an is attesting on you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. An. Thank you so much. He's my guy.
So do you think for Campo, what type of nutrition you can give Campo? Because my boss is a good footballer, but this weight, that is his problem for now.
I grow with this boy in the same neighborhood.
Yes, no problem.
We play with the same team. We come together. He know my heart. I have a lion heart. But now, due to time,
I
have big stomach now. But
I will just put my everything on you and say, I subdue. To be honest,
no problem. Now you have to create time for him.
What's the problem? Sometimes he will take the weight. Sometimes he will go down. Sometimes he will say, boy, you are gonna hurry, boy. Like, I'm not gonna tell you, are gonna hurry. He's trying to compete. But
no, I'm not competing.
I supposed to join boxing very soon. You will see me, but it will be off camera, not
Okay, but so we are almost running out of time. We have 5 minutes. If you have any final, word as far as the program is concerned, what advice, or if you are seeking for something, what do you want to say? And if someone also want to join your training, how is the person going to join you?
To join my training when you are home base is registration. So I used to open registration each 1 hour. I can train 12 players, then another hour, another 12 players. So when the registration is full, you have to wait for another month. And then one thing about me is time. When I tell you 7 o'clock, if you are not there at 7, sometimes I used to close my gate. And then when you did not come for training, I used to take my own credit and then call you why you are not here, because I did not know where you get your money from. And then for help, everybody, I don't know what to say that, but
we understand that we will plead on behalf of you.
Because we will do our best, because this is what we need about so. Because why we have to bring you? This is our own thing. Gambians, we have to celebrate the people we have. We have to honor the people we have. Let us not only depend on outsiders. This is a moment that we should be proud of you. Why I say that is our own personal fitness trainer in our own country,
not European,
working with the under 17 and even international foreigners who are international in their country, coming to the Gambia just to train with you. Our own national team players whom we are proud of, blowing the trumpet with, coming to train with you. Local base, we see how many under 17 or under 20 pass through you. This is a real moment for you to be commended for. We are really indeed proud of you, to be honest. This is all what we need. Youths to involve in this, and you are showing your talent. If what do you have for your fans and for your trainees? Sometimes I know they will not be happy with you. They will say backs on temporarily and stuff like that.
I just want to add 1 minute, just like what Suma told you, because you were playing football and forces. You are an amazing player. I watch you play. Sometimes left back to come and watch you come even and forces. But do this, sometimes God is on course. But today God say, but still you're in football. Today you are sport journalist and sport pundit and presenter.
My boss also is a number 10.
But Bakso too was a very good player. He played up to the highest level in Gambian football, but due to injury, that's why. But still now he's on football. But that's why consider surprise. When he's training you, he know what he wants from you. So this what God decided, that he's going to be a fitness coach. But his dream, his entire life is football, even school team life in SOS. So God, anything that God decided, then you see yourself. But
for your fans who are watching, and what do you have for them?
My fans, just to thank them, because really always they are supporting me, putting me status, So, and then I will just tell them that to keep supporting me, inshallah, the best will come. And they give me a name called The Best. Sometimes they always call me The Best, The Best. Yeah.
So currently, where is your training ground located?
At Talinding. Talinding, the football pitch is owned by Ibrahim Koli. So I used to train there. But sometimes I used to go to Dalabao. Al-Husseini Gassama also have a turf and then a grass. So sometimes I used to go there also.
That was the
let's just plead on his behalf.
Yes.
We are pleading to all those that Basco is training, that is the professional players. If they join hands together, they can at least, because we all know all these other artificial pitch, they are for rental, and then we all know playing there every day will damage the ground, and then 3 professional players may not need that kind of pitch. What we are pleading to the general public and the professionals, if you can help Basco to have his own, at the end of the day, when he has his own, it will be for the development.
But also he will have his own.
So if he have his own and then started training people at the end of the day, it will benefit the country, because they came back to represent the country. So we played into each and everyone who can support Basco.
My boss have said it all. If the boss man speak, we the young ones shouldn't. It's really good we have him, because this is the famous Bakso that you always heard of, with the nickname of the best out of the best, because he really helped professionals in the sense that if they are here for vacation, they choose to join him to maintain at least their fitness, so that if they go back to their clubs, they will not struggle.
He have phone name.
Yes.
Sadio Mane. The time I was playing, I can play. So they call me Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane.
He have Rivaldo, Riff. At Venus.
Yeah. So now the program is finished. What do you have to say? And this, your last word for the program.
Thank you so much, Mbai and Omar and Mr. Campo. This is the first time, to invite me on TV.
Wow.
Yes, this is the first time. Nobody. So I'm really happy. Just to pray for you guys.
Thank you.
Inshallah, everything will be fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Campo.
Yeah, it's a interview, so we thank also Omar for coming on,
The boss.
for coming on board here to discuss a lot. Also, we also thank you, also thank Omar on
Yeah, the boss.
the listeners, so that, the viewers that are also watching us live. So this is one guy. Let us try and support him. So the local pledge, you had it. It's very simple. Come and pay, and we give you the best that you did not see.
Exactly. Keep on supporting us. We all know media is all about time. We wanted to talk more. There are many things on the agenda we couldn't discuss, but like it says, we always prioritize what we think is right, talking about the home-based things. So that's all we got for you on this edition of the Morning Night Sport. But do join us next week as we do it more on sporting issues.
As my boss says, join us next week. Be sporting and keep on sporting. As we said, Baxo, the platform is here for you, and any other Gambian who is completely contributing to sports development. If you have anything to share to the general public, or you want to share it with the general public, the platform is open for you. We don't just want you to come this time and only stop. The house is here for you. If you feel you have anything important that you are to filter, you are welcome. Just link us. You will be available and time will be given to you. Thank you to all of you, and bye-bye. You join us next week, Monday.
Thank you.